Hey Vibe Tribe, this is Jess Venus with Life Force Energy. Happy fall, y'all! Oh, I live in Colorado and fall is one of my favorite seasons to be a part of. It's absolutely beautiful in Colorado. All the trees and the leaves have these bright colors of red, yellow, and gold, and I get to see such beauty all around me. So I just love how Mother Nature she puts on her different outfits here in Colorado, and I get to enjoy it. And so I wanted to share a little bit of what I have been channeled with. Uh, Again, I woke up early this morning. I had a dream about someone that I had to have a break from because it was no longer serving either of us. And they entered the dream and trying to, pull on my heartstrings, things of that nature. So that way they can do whatever they've been doing throughout the years. And I, of course, called back my soul fragments that was dispersed that I had allowed on some level, whether I was aware of it or not, because again, it was attaching to my heart. And this particular being knows how to try to work my heart. So hoping that I would back go back to the same toxic patterns, and I said no. So let's give me an applause today. I'm like, no. Remember the video I just did? I said no. It's very empowering because it's protecting your energy. So I wanted to share with you because not only did I have to call back my soul fragments today, but I also had a channel for a couple of my five tribers that I'm working on with today. And so I'm like, you know what? It's time. It's time to share about what soul fragments retrieval is all about. And then I got channeled with this beautiful command that I'm so excited that I'll be sharing with one of my sessions today. But I also wanted to share it with you because I was like, this is so amazing. I got to share it with you all. So, what are soul fragments? Well, it's your energy, the essence of your energy. And so, what ends up happening, knowingly or unknowingly, we can give part of our energy away to people that we care about, people that we've had great relationships with, that we had a deep bond with. Now, it could also be taken away without our desire to give part of our energy away. And how that can happen is on some level of consciousness, you allowed it. Oh, I used to hate when my healer would say that. And I was like, what do you mean I allowed it? I don't want them. And they're like, emotionally somewhere inside of you, you allowed that person to enter your field, because it's like if you create a wall, and I mean, or a door that's closed with a lock, that means that person is unable to get in unless they break in somehow. But then you got to defend your energy, or you've given them the key to go into your house, which is your etheric field, your energy field, to invade you. So at some level, a degree, you allow them in. And so I was like, well, that's terrible. And then also, your soul fragments, that your energy essence can be lost. Like, for example, I had this dream. And in this dream, this person was giving me their sob story. The ones that you may have encountered some point in your life. The victim. They always have a story. The drama queen. The one that, oh, things are just this way. And it's just like the story is the same method, but it's always like, oh, they color it with something else. Like, please feel sorry for me. Let me draw you in so that way I can see what I can get from this story I'm giving to you, and hope that I'll get what I want. I'm sure you've dealt with somebody at some level in your life, or you may be even going through it now. Anyhow, the cool part was in this dream, I said, no, I'm not allowing you. I've already done this song and dance for too long, and all that it left me was great pain and suffering and emptiness. And why would I return back to that? And so here I wanted to share with you in regards to soul fragments retrieval, how can you make a healthy break? Well, first and foremost, if you're already aware of specific people, it could be partnerships, marriages, relationships, friendships, that these energy exchanges, sometimes they're positive, right? And I've talked about it before. If it's positive, you may be thinking of them, and then all of a sudden they send you a beautiful text wishing you a wonderful day, and you're like, oh, and that's a nice energy exchange that you both have. And then you could have someone where it's like, oh no, you may have thought of an ex, or a friend that you're no longer with, and then all of a sudden they show up and they tell you all these terrible things. I joke with my vibe tribe. I go, it's like we said Beetlejuice too many times, they appeared. Oh no. That's our joke. So, what I'm going to share with you is if you have that kind of a toxicity with someone, what can you do to break that pattern? Well, first and foremost, if you can vocalize, because sometimes we're in different levels of processing, and that's okay. Let's give ourselves some grace, right? If you're able to go ahead and cut off that relationship, that's another one. But if you can't first vocalize to the people that you may be wanting to still kind of work something out, tell them how you really feel. Share with them the examples and the events that has caused you this feeling of, I don't think this is working out anymore. Now, their reaction is going to tell you everything. If their reaction, they're attacking you, they're cussing you out, they're telling you all these terrible things, they're cursing at you, do you really want to have a relationship with someone that loses control and has a quick temper and ready to attack you because you're sharing how you feel? Something to reevaluate. At least in my opinion, for my personal experience, absolutely not. I don't think so. I love and respect myself and honor myself enough not to allow that. And I also honor and respect the person enough that this exchange is no longer beneficial or mutual to let them go. Because there may be other people that I can get myself out of their space so other people can come in and support them in a different way than I could. So there's that idea. Communicate, right? You're like, oh, I'm not a confrontational being. Well, then maybe, and sending them a text or writing them an email, that can be helpful too. And get ready to expect whatever their response is going to be and take ownership for whatever it is that they will say about you, because now you are causing them to feel that they have done something wrong. And first instincts usually on an unhealed ego and a human behavior is, I'm going to attack you for saying that. And those who are in a process of healing or have already healed from those said traumas, they're going to be more open and try to communicate with you in a manner that whether or not you two desire to move forward, that you can be peaceable and respectful and appreciative for the time you've had. The other thing that I would suggest is, like I said, cutting that off. Cut those cords, people. What are cords? I like to use the visual of our landlines, those cords that go across the poles and just keep connecting, and how we are able to communicate. Well, to me, the cords, they look like, in my third eye, they look really thick, like almost braided, a lot of metal braided, and then it goes right inside of your body, right where the sacral solar plexus usually is, or in between, and then it's connected to someone else. Imagine the umbilical cord of a mother to a child. Get me? Okay, so those would be the cords. Now, the cords are created on a positive and negative and or both. Now, when is it a good time to cut those cords? Again, it is draining, depleting your life force. You're going on a downward spiral of depression, of anger, irritability, violence to yourself, to others. Well, there you go. That's a sign. Cut that out. And if you don't know how to do so, then you can have an energy healer do it for you. Now, for me, in my practice, I only cut the ones that are causing you harm. I do not cut the bonds. I do not hurt the person on the other end. What we're doing is we're cutting that pipe that is leading all that toxic waste inside of your body so that your physical and metaphysical essence is not destroyed or altered to a point that you can end up in the hospital. You can have a mental breakdown. You may not be functioning, period. So we got to take care of you, right? Same idea with soul fragments. But what ends up happening is when the person's courting you, they start pulling your essence. They're like, imagine like our cell phone batteries. We get on there, we're scrolling, we're doing our, social media, we're watching YouTube videos. The battery starts to drop, right? Because we're using up that energy. Same concept. When someone is courting you, they are depleting your life force. And you're like, I don't understand what's happening to my mood. Why is everything feeling like it's not working out for me? Because that person on the other end can be very envious, sending you the evil eye, can be casting nasty words, sending you a knife in the back, speaking very ill, hoping that others will side with them because that's what drama queens do. Okay, the victim, they always do that. They'll get everyone that they know that know you and tell them this terrible story about you and be like, can you believe that person did this to me? But of course, the people on the other side, if they're wise enough, they should either one, assess it and look at the person's resources, look at the person that they're attacking, look at the person's character, question that, and or see the other sides, what's going on there, because there's always the two sides of the coin, correct? And then or be like where I'm like, I don't get involved. I don't get involved in other people's disagreements, because sometimes they need those disagreements to grow and to become stronger and unified, or those disagreements have to happen because they need to disconnect. But it's not my journey. You know what I mean? So I stay the heck out. I'm neutral. I listen and I'm like, you know what? I'm sure everything's going to work out, because one way or another, it's that soul's journey to figure it out, not mine. So I stay out of that. And so those are the things that I'm just bringing attention to that you may be experiencing. Mostly these soul fragments, when our parts of our body is being released, we become very drained, exhausted, fatigued, irritable, overwhelmed, stressed, unable to think. It's very confusing. Other ways that I've seen people that get their courted is through relationships. So maybe previous marriages, business partnerships, best friends, family, like cousins, they have this difficulty because there's this obligation of some kind that they feel. So they guilt themselves to stay in this loop of destruction. So here's a command that I was given today. And that way it's something that you could use. So let me kind of show you. Let me grab my wand here. Okay. For those of you who are energy healers, if you're familiar with cutting cords, you would just go ahead. I go into further detail. I like to find out how many cords I have. You could use muscle testing. You can use your pendulum. You could use your dowsing rods. You can use your clear senses. You can do everything, whatever it is, how you channel. You want to find out how many ether cords you may have. Now, some of you may not even have an ether cord. It may show up in a different metaphysical category. It could be like a knife in the back, darts. These are all negative thought forms sent in intention to disrupt you and to hurt you and to create some terrible downfalls in your life. I know. Why would people do that, right? Because they're miserable. So if they're miserable and you're living a wonderful life, they are mad because you're living this wonderful life, and especially without them. So now they're really going to attack you. And all they have to do, let me tell you this way. Intentions, good, bad, a strong feeling and a thought directed to someone. That's all you need to do. That's it. That's how powerful our thoughts, our feelings, and our words are. And I've shared this many times. So you would check how many ether cords you have. If you are really good, you can even find out who it is. You may already know who it is, and then you can ask and get straight to the point, and then you get the answer. Say you're like, I don't know how to do any of that, but I feel like I have cords. Well, then you would take your wand, or you can take your hand. I've shown in previous videos, and you would do like a cutting motion down, okay? So let me kind of give you an idea here. So say, for example, you have ether cords. So you're going to command to cut these ether cords. So I call upon my angels, I call upon Jesus, I call upon my spirit guides, whomever you are resonating with, go for it. Ganesh, St. Jude, the list goes on, Pleiadians, Arcturians, whomever. So I just call in my spirit team because they already know who they are. And I call upon my spirit team to come forward and to assist me, to protect me. Because what we got to do is a protective energy. You can also, like my healer in a bottle, use Protect Me energy waters. And this is how simple it is. How beautiful it even glows. Okay, so I spray my jewelry, my zeal chakra, oh my God, my heart. And there is a wonderful command that you could use in the back. Okay? Now, you're going to command any and all negative ether cords that are taking and draining me from my energy field are now cut with grace and with ease. It has no power over me. Hit that floor, dropping it to the ground, and then you go ahead and you take that energy and you send it to the light. I send it to the light with grace and with ease. My energy is of my own. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is, and so shall it be. I'm in visualizing. I have white light energy. I am completely enveloped in this white light energy. Those of you who are Reiki practitioners, do all your symbols on your body. Okay. If you like to not use your hands, you can use your wand. I have my selenite that has copper. This is pure copper, along with the crystals that represent my chakras. Again, swiping motion down. And then I go ahead and swipe it down and do the sides, because sometimes you'll get like an attack on the side of your rib and you'll have it between the cartilage. And you're like, I didn't do anything, and I try to do everything else, and I put on salves and all that, it's not working. Well, then that may be an energetic influence. So those are ways that you can cut it. And then what I do is I go ahead and I cleanse myself in white light energy. This is what I show in my Intuitive Senses workshop video. You can get it on my shop if you choose to. And you're going to do this bathing. I already did mine earlier today. I didn't have a cord, which is what I was going to explain more. I had a knife in the back because they attacked me in my dream, because if I was in my wake state, it wouldn't happen. So like, let me catch her in her dream state. And that was taken care of immediately. Okay, so that's one example. Now, here's the command that I was given this morning. Oh, I love this. So I'm going to share this with all of you. I am going to type everything up, write it out. It's going on to the YouTube video. I'm going to put the command on there, and I want to share it with everyone because I know that many of us are going through some form of emotional attachment or negativity that others that we love or don't care to be in a relationship with anymore are still influencing and attacking our bodies. So here's the command. When you're doing that cutting motion, or you can visualize that you're inside white light energy, you can speak this command. Now, everything must be done. Remember, intention here and here. So you must, with your strength of your brain, with all of your might, with all of your intent, no doubt allowed. Your heart is passionate. You are zealous. You are commanding your power. You need to use this command just as that. Not like, well, and meek, and I don't believe. Then you're going to get the same amount of energy that you put out right back in, if you get anything at all, if you put any energy into it. So I am fueled up, man. I am strong because I am a powerful being. I am blessed and anointed. I am divinely called to do this beautiful work. I am now clearing myself. So here's the command. So I'm in white light energy. I cut any cords and or attachments from this lifetime and others. I release any soul contracts, hexes, vows, or program from the past and present and send it to the healing light. Any and all negative energies, I relinquish what is not in the highest good of all. I call back my soul fragments, any that was lost, given, or taken away, to be cleansed in pure white light energy and restored to me in its perfect, balanced existence. It is done. It is done. It is done. I am protected. So I'm doing my symbols on my body because of that. It's important to call back your power. People are always going to see one way or another what they can get from you that they're missing. And eventually, or maybe not at all, some people will learn that they have to discover it and practice it themselves, just as you have, which is why you're where you're at today. And they are still in their loop of suffering and pain and loss because they're looking for the cheat sheet. They're looking for the easy way out. And I'm going to tell you, to me, that's more work. Trying to figure out how you can hustle someone, how you can manipulate and deplete another because you're not willing to do the inner shadow work yourself. Like, dang, take that way of trying to, set up some kind of, I'm trying to be kind to my words. Take those efforts for those people that do that. Well, imagine if you were to take those efforts, your methods, and turn it in a manner in words. What a crazy thought. taking care of yourself so that you're not hurting other people and then destroying every relationship, whether it's intimate, friendship, business, whatever the exchange is with another human being. You're not losing it because of your behavior. And so, also, wonderful Vibe Tribe, learn how to protect your energy. Your energy is all that you've got that keeps us going here. If our energy depletes and we don't have it, then that's why people go into manic depression, mental health issues, because, and there's other reasons why. I'm just giving an example. There's way more than that in regards to mental health issues. But why I say mental health is confusion, incapable of being able to hold thought, because other people will come in and occupy and enter that space and create of a crumbling effect. And that's what I mean by that. So if you need a soul retrieval process, whether it's you doing it yourself, which I highly always suggest, do it, practice it, make it part of who you are, and have your energy healer. They'll find it. You can ask them if they look for it, because every energy healer taps in differently in their own unique manners. I'm always looking, I channel right before I work on my sessions because I need to know what I'm going to do, how I'm going to support you and address the issues that are ready to be brought to surface, to emerge, to be healed today. So that's what I do for my Vibe Tribe. But hey, I would like to hear, have you ever had a soul fragments retrieval process done? What was it like for you? Why we call our soul fragments to be returned by being cleansed in white light. We don't want it to come back after it's been mixed with someone else and then come back to us all jacked up, and then we bring it back into our bodies. We're like, why do I still feel like I'm not really present, or I feel out of it? That's why I say use the command of cleansing and washing it in pure light. So I will be placing this onto my video. I'm just wanting to share with you different techniques, give you a little bit of an insight. What is cutting of the cords and soul fragments? It's your energy essence that is lost, given, or taken away at some level of you allowing it. So what can you do? We call it right back. We reclaim our power. We stand firm in our truths. We create healthy boundaries for ourselves. Because if you don't do it, then it can never be done. If you're waiting for someone else to be noble and honorable, to not try to do you in, then you're going to see why that everyone's in a growth learning curve of their own, and some will be cool and not do that. And then there's going to be others that don't even know that they're doing it, and some that are, and that's just their game of survival. Those are the ones that are able to survive. If they got to turn some tricks to make sure that they are safe, hey, that's their survival method, man. Do you? But I'm not allowing that for me. So I just want to share that with all of you. Let me know if you feel at times that you're feeling that someone is violating and trespassing against you, knowingly or even at times unknowingly. You're not sure, but you can sense it inside of you. What have you done differently to help yourself out? Let's encourage everyone here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining, and wishing you all love, insight, and healing. Take care.